Real estate agents, ChatGPT 5 just came out, and I'm going to give you a super quick rundown on what's new with ChatGPT 5, what you need to be doing differently when you're using ChatGPT, and whether or not it's living up to the hype that everybody's talking about. Now, real quick, if you don't know who I am, my name is Brandon Upright. I'm a real estate agent and also an AI consultant that helps real estate agents integrate AI into their business. If you are a real estate agent who is trying to learn more about how to use AI in their business to not only automate different processes, but also generate more leads, save you more time, and all around just run a better business, then luckily for you, I have the perfect place where you can learn exactly how to do that. I just launched our school community called the Autopilot Agent Academy, and this is an exclusive community of real estate agents learning how to use AI in their business. Inside the community, I have over a dozen hours of training content teaching you how to use different AI tools, how to build automations in your business, learn about AI agents, and basically just stay on top of this AI wave to future-proof your business. On top of all of the learning material, you're also a part of a community of other real estate agents who are using AI in their business. So you get to learn from them what they're doing and bounce ideas off of each other so that you can see how you can use what they're doing in your business and how they can use what you're doing in your business. So if you want to join a community of like-minded real estate agents like you who are learning how to use AI in their business, it is completely free to join. There's a 7-day free trial. The link is in the description below as well as in the pinned comment below. Now, let's get back to ChatGPT 5. So ChatGPT 5 essentially just came out a few days ago, and there's a lot of mixed reviews around it. So basically what they are claiming is that it is faster, it is more intelligent, but some of the issues that people are talking about right now is that it is not faster, it is not better. But ChatGPT has come out with some reasoning behind that, which is that the way that ChatGPT 5 works, there's some internal stuff going on. We're going to talk all about it in this video. But basically, they're saying, yes, there are some hiccups right now because it's brand new, but we're working on it and we're fixing it. So anyways, let's jump into the video and look a little bit deeper into ChatGPT 5. I didn't want this to be a 20-minute video where I'm, comparing one prompt to another because realistically, the differences are so minute. The average person is not going to notice. And I mean, if you're asking ChatGPT to do something and it takes 3 seconds versus 3.5 seconds, it's not that big of a difference, but I did want to touch on what is different with ChatGPT 5 so that you are ahead of the game. You know what's going on. You can tell your colleagues about it and your teammates about it. And basically, I just want to make sure you're well informed. ChatGPT 5 is the biggest thing in AI news right now, so I want to make sure that you know what's going on. Without further ado, let's hop into my computer and we can explore it more. So first things first, let's talk about what's different with ChatGPT 5 versus the other ChatGPT models that you've probably used. Number one is there's no more model selection. So what does that mean? Well, when you're in ChatGPT, typically at the top left, you would pick your model. So there'd be 4.0, 04, 4.1, 4.1 mini, 4.1 nano, all these different types of models that you could choose from, which had pros and cons depending on your use case. The problem with that was you had to have a pretty good idea of what model was more advantageous for what scenarios so that you could choose the right model. What ChatGPT has done now since they released ChatGPT 5 is they've only allowed for 2 models, which is ChatGPT 5 and ChatGPT 5 Thinking. Thinking is just a more thorough version of ChatGPT 5. But basically what happens with ChatGPT 5 is depending on what you're asking ChatGPT to do, it will choose the model for you. So behind the scenes, you don't actually see it happening, but behind the scenes, it's going to figure out, okay, this is what the person's asking me to do. The best model for that would be this model, so I'm going to select that one. Now, this is all still very new. ChatGPT 5 only came out a few days ago. So they're having a couple bugs with it, which is that obviously when, something new like this comes out, everybody starts using it, everybody jumps on it, and that kind of overloads their servers, overloads their system. So right now what's happening is when their system gets overloaded, it's automatically knocking you down to a less powerful platform so that it can A, save you token usage and save them token usage, and B, accomplish the task you're looking to accomplish because the higher model is just too overloaded. So they're having some bugs with that. There's some complaints happening right now, but they're trying to work through it and, do some updates and fix it. But that's basically how the behind the scenes of ChatGPT 5 works, is it figures out what it is that you're trying to accomplish and then it picks the appropriate model accordingly. The second thing about ChatGPT 5 is it is faster and more accurate. So there's been lots of tests already done about, benchmark numbers for how fast it is, how accurate it is, how well it can problem solve and accomplish math equations, and all these different sort of benchmark tests for AI. And basically ChatGPT 5 has exceeded in all those tests. There's a really great article done by Passion Fruit that shows all the different testing numbers. I will put that article in the description below, but you can see all the different results from these tests. So for example, for expert level math, ChatGPT 5 Pro scored a 32.1%, whereas the old models like O3 and O4 Mini were at 19.3 and 15.8. Pretty big difference. PhD level science questions, ChatGPT 5 Pro scored an 89.4%. 4.0, which is the typical model that everyone was using, 70.1%. So it is smarter, it is more accurate. The different testing also showed that when you do the exact same prompt for the exact same task between like 4.0 and 5, 5 is about 30% faster. Does that matter? Well, it depends on, what you're trying to do with ChatGPT and how quickly you need the results. But, to some people, an extra 2 seconds is really not that big of a deal. So it's really up to you. And then thirdly, you can now build internal applications. So if you've ever seen my videos where I use Lovable to create landing pages, you can also use it to create web apps. Now you can do the same inside of ChatGPT 5. Now Claude has had a feature like this for a very long time. You can build Claude artifacts, they're called. So it's honestly a bit overdue that ChatGPT just put this into their system. But anyways, it is there. So I'm going to show you just a quick example of that. Let's say in the canvas, which is the specific tool that ChatGPT uses, where it shows you whatever it's working on or building on the right-hand side, whereas your conversation and the prompts are on the left-hand side. You've probably seen that before when you use ChatGPT. It's called the canvas. So we're going to say in the canvas, build me a tool that helps me track my Facebook ad results. Then it starts to do a bit of coding here. You can see it just popped up the canvas. So this is the canvas on the right where it's going to work on and build that thing. And then the left is where you have your conversation. Okay, so it just finished. It wrote me a ton of code for this app. And now on the top right here, I can click run code. You can see it says run your code in the canvas. So we're going to run that. And then it's going to load up the app. And then look at that, Facebook Ads Tracker. It says how to use in 60 seconds. In Meta Ads Manager, click Reports, Export Table, CSV, include data campaign, ad set, blah, 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 blah. Then I got to import the CSV. So basically I go to my ad platform, I export the table, and I upload it into here. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you can think of an actual use case in your real estate business where you could have a make.com automation that just once a week or once a month automatically exports that CSV for you, puts it into a Google Drive, and then you just take that and upload it into here, and then allows you to keep track of all your Facebook ads. So that's pretty cool. You can build little internal apps inside of your ChatGPT. The use case I see for these is kind of just solving individual sort of personal problems in your business or in your day-to-day life. So maybe it's, I don't know, building, a little mini game for you and your kids to play when you're at home. Or maybe you have a specific internal process in your business that, a little mini app would help to have, just speed up the process or to allow everyone access to or something like that. As of right now, I definitely don't see this as being something that you build a full-scale app that you deploy, brokerage-wide or anything like that. But it is handy to be able to solve little problems with an app that you can actually have an interface and click buttons and see visually in front of you. So that's just a quick overview of ChatGPT 5. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown so you know and you're not feeling like, oh my god, ChatGPT 5 came out, what do I need to know? What do I need to do differently? There's not a whole lot different except for that it's basically just saving you time. So you don't have to worry about choosing a model anymore, and it's quicker, more accurate, is more mindful of your token usage. So essentially, it's just better equipped you to use ChatGPT. So hopefully that video was helpful and it gives you an idea as to what's new in ChatGPT 5, how you can take advantage of it, and how you should be using it. But realistically, essentially, it's the same. Other than it's a little bit easier for you to use now. You don't have to pick your model and do some research and figure out what model's best. GPT-5 will do that for you, assuming that OpenAI fixes their little bugs that they have, which I'm sure they will. Every new product that comes out has some bugs that they got to tweak. But also now you can build little sort of mini apps or mini tools inside of your ChatGPT that might help you be a bit more productive in your business or even in your day-to-day life. So it's not absolutely game-changing, it's not super revolutionary, but there are some cool new features that make it a bit more easier to use for the average person. So hopefully that was helpful and it helped break it down for you. Again, if you want to learn more about how you can use AI in your real estate business, the first place that I would start is by joining our school community. It is a community of like-minded real estate agents just like you who want to learn how to use AI to automate different parts of their business. It is totally free to join. There's a 7-day free trial. The link is in the description below and in the first pinned comment below. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much for the support. And if you're not subscribed already, what are you doing? AI is coming at you and you better learn about it if you want to stay in the game. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And other than that, we will see you in the next video.